I'm Alan Trent, the Canton Tea Party Patriots. Tonight at our meeting, we had a person speak out about homeschooling, which we think, and I think a lot of people think, it's a very important issue, being at the way the American school systems are run today. So I'd like to introduce Jennifer Renzetti, who homeschools her children. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Alan.
Could you tell me how many children you have, their ages, and how long you've been homeschooling them?
Okay, we have 5 kids. Our youngest is 3. Then we have a 6-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 17-year-old. And we've been homeschooling for the last 12 years.
Why did you and other parents decide to homeschool? What was your original thought?
Well, my original reason was based upon educational freedom, to allow my son at the time, who was in kindergarten, to be more of who he was, not what the public school system wanted him to be. You know, they seemed to put it as a cookie cutter, and he didn't fit the mold. He was very creative and loved to read, and was he was above where their reading levels were, and they wanted to put him in a box that said that he didn't actually fit their perception of where students should be, and we decided that homeschooling was the best option because we couldn't afford private school.
How does homeschooling benefit your children?
It's freedom for each kid to individually figure out what they want to do with their time. Like my son, he's very creative. He has an artistic touch, and he loves drama, so he gets to spend more time in the arts. And my daughter loves biology and science, always has. She wants to be a veterinarian. She's the next one in line, and so she gets to do more anatomy and biology labs and that kind of stuff. So you get to tailor each kid's curriculum to what their likes and dislikes are.
So you start to sense what their strong suits are and maybe what their weak suits are, and you can kind of focus either way depending on yourself and your child then.
Yes.
Great.
Yes, most definitely.
Religion. The main reason and focus that parents homeschooling, is it religion or not?
No. I mean, there's over 45,000 homeschoolers in the state of Georgia alone, and everybody has a different reason why they homeschool. And it used to be that was the main reason, was because of religion, because it was told that the Bible tells us that we're supposed to homeschool. The Bible does state that, but that's not why I teach my kids, but it's just one of the perks. I mean, I get to teach Bible to my kids, and they get to learn to pray and have devotions without any censorship, so it's a perk.
How do you find your children adapting when you first started homeschooling?
Well, he was in kindergarten, and he didn't enjoy going to school, so for him it was a good way to, when we brought him back home and he didn't have to go, it was a transitional period of a little bit, but none of my kids have ever asked to go to public school. And we have given them the option when they go to high school. If they want to, we'll try to be supportive. I'm just thinking, do I really want to support that? But we do try to be supportive, but none of them have ever asked. It's a really fulfilling, it's just a really great time. It's at home.
Let's talk about the cost a little bit, because I hear things across the country about costs $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 per student for the school systems, and they keep asking for more money. Can you give me an idea what it costs you and expenses, etc.? Not your time, because I know that's hard to calculate.
Well, we spend on average $300 a year per kid, and that's only here lately. As of the last 4 years since my son's been in high school, our curriculum cost has gone up.
Is the area and the state, etc., friendly to homeschooling?
Well, Georgia isn't unfriendly per se, but they do not treat homeschoolers the same as they do public schoolers. My pet peeve right now with Georgia is that a public school kid can graduate high school here with a 2.7 GPA and 1,000 on their SAT score, which is really low, and they can go to almost any Georgia state or college or university, no questions asked. If my homeschooler wants to go, they have to meet a requirement of where they score 200 points higher than the average entrance on an SAT. Doesn't matter what his GPA is, it's the average entrance. So that makes it about 1,600. So my child would have to score at least 1,600 or more on an SAT. And with those kind of scores, he could get a scholarship to go anywhere. He wouldn't have to go to the state of Georgia. The other option is they can pay for a credited transcript, and that's almost $3,000.
So your children are a little more challenged, and so are you, but in the end, it's really probably a good thing because they have to work harder to achieve the same thing, so to speak.
Yeah, it is somewhat of a good thing, but it's also
frustrating.
Frustrating. Yeah. It's very frustrating because I think it should be equal, you know?
That's true. That's true. Very true. How big is the homeschooling program in Cherokee County, and can you give us any statistics or anything that you can contribute?
Well, I know that there's, according to Cherokee County School District, there's over 3,000 kids alone that are documented that are in the Cherokee County alone, and there's about 45,000 in the state of Georgia. That's a lot of homeschoolers. So if you look at it that way, you might want to think about the next time when they're paying taxes. All of those students, their parents are paying taxes, and none of those students are in public school. Right. So that's all money that the school system is getting that is not being taken or spent on a child in public school. So
you're probably obviously in favor of the voucher system in a sense.
Yes, I don't think the voucher system is awesome. I mean, it would be, it's educational freedom, and I'm all for that.
Last question. Can you explain the junior ROTC program in this area and what it's the significance of it?
Oh yeah, it's near and dear to my heart. Penny Hurst is actually who runs the program through the King's Academy and the Junior RTC of the Army. It's the first in the nation that is partially funded by the military, and it's a leadership program for high school students. So it's similar to what's in public school, except it's in private school. They meet 3 days a week, and the kids learn leadership skills, community service skills. It's an awesome program. My son went through it for 4 years. My daughter's in it, and it's near and dear to my heart.
Jennifer, I'd like to thank you very much for speaking up tonight about homeschooling and also for this interview. Is there any contact information for the county, that any organization that you possibly could pass on before we end?
GHEA.org, and that's the Georgia Homeschooling Education Association. So it's GHEA.org.
Another person seeking out a cause they think for their rights and the rights of their children that do not depend on the federal government, state government, or the local government. So we thank you, Jennifer. Good night.